In this video, IGCSE English Language A, we're going to look straightforward into how to organize your answers to question number 4, the question that requires you to respond on the use of language and structure in the text. Now, having known that maybe you've read the non-fiction text, it will be of importance and of concern that you need to know various ways in which writers have presented their perspectives. Now, an exam style question would expect you to respond, especially on this question number 4, on the use of language and structure. So step by step, it's a guide that will enlighten you on how to respond. And of course, you're going to use one example from the text anthology, the newest one, that is from Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, The Danger of a Single Story. How to organize your answer to question number 4. Now, depending on your teacher and the presentation of the experience that you had with your teachers, there are many ways, there are many formats, there are many acronyms, including the ones that I've patched here, that will help you to structure your response as far as response of language and structure is concerned. So we've got the PEA, we've got the PEE, point, evidence, explanation, we have SQUID, SQUID, we have Peter paragraphs, point, evidence, technique, explanation, and then the effect to the readers. We have PEEL, we have PEAS, we have WHW, kind of response to questions, and also we have the petal. Now, depending on what acronym or what structure you've been exposed to by your various teachers, it doesn't really matter, but if you've mastered one, it's a good thing that you hold strongly onto that one. But we're going to be looking at the inside briefly. How do you structure your response as far as this question is concerned? In an exam style question, an example sample will look like this one here. How does Adichie use language and structure to present her ideas and perspectives? So the first thing first, good students, you have to look at different aspects of language. Now we are going to delve into this of language, and of course the structure way, ways in which structure is presented or has been used, in the text to present the writer's ideas and of course perspectives. So let's use one acronym or one structuring method. How does Adichie use language and structure to present ideas and perspectives? Point that needs to directly answer the question, what is one of Adichie's ideas or perspectives? Now, these you can as well as come up with that as many points, ideas or perspectives, but this is just to give an example that you need to directly answer the question, what is one of Adichie's ideas or perspectives? 2, cite evidence from the text that supports that needs to provide evidence of said idea or perspective. Where in the text does she reveal that idea or perspective? 3, give the analysis. Now in this, you need to explain how language and structure help express that idea or perspective. And it has to be that idea or perspective that language and structure helps to express. Again, good students, in this particular part of the analysis, this has to be incorporated, that you are showcasing that you have an upper hand or you have an insight through which that you're able to express or you're able to interpret that or be able to explain how language and structure has been used in the text to express various ideas and perspectives. How does Adichie use language and structure to present ideas and perspectives? Example response A. Now, points, you realize that there are I'm going to be using 2 example responses, and then compare the 2 and see which one has come out clearer than the other, and then we can see the perspectives. So I'll use 2 examples to help you see how one is totally different from the other, and which one that you can go for. That now strongly points and perspectives are being presented based on a particular structuring format that we're going to follow here. That is the point, evidence, and then analysis. Now, in this context point, of course, we say that it needs to be directly answer the question. For example, what is one of the Adichie's point or perspectives? And in this case, the student has gone that Adichie describes a time when she visited Fides family or Fides village. Now, the point doesn't clearly focus on an idea or a perspective. You'll agree with me that there is no way that the response that Adichie describes a time when she visited Fides family. There are many instances where Adichie does describe various instances of her experience in life. So therefore, that one at that particular point does not qualify as far as the structuring and the point evidence analysis is concerned. Now, the evidence, of course, you need to provide evidence of said idea or perspective. And for example, where in the text does she reveal that idea? Where in the text does the writer reveal that idea or a perspective? Now, in this response on my far end, that's the third column right there, she explains that is the right, the responses, one of the responses. She explains that when she found out that the beautifully buttoned basket was made by Fides' brother, she was startled. Now again, this one, good students, even though the quote does link to the point, of course it does link to the point back there, they've used "has the candidate chosen" a quote that gives much opportunity to analyze the language and structure? Not really. This example, the quote that the writer or the students have used, they do not provide much opportunity to analyze language and structure. Otherwise, it will be just a description to Fides village that startled the writer. Now, the analysis of the same, of course, good students say that the analysis need to be able to explain how language structure has helped to express the idea and perspective. And on my third far end, that is the third column, she didn't expect this because she didn't realize that they had any skills. So that's why she is. Now, it looks hanging. As far as our structuring of this particular question is concerned, we do not leave, or the students has not left any point or any opportunity to exploit or explore or expound much further on the aspect of use of language. Remember up there, our prompt was asking that we put or we use or we identify several use of language and structures that have been used to present her ideas and perspectives. So therefore, in this one, this is literally rephrasing of the quote rather than an analysis of the language and the structure used there. For sample or example response B, how does Adichie use language and structure to present ideas and perspectives? Point needs to, of course, directly answer the question, what is one of Adichie's ideas or perspectives? And in this context, or in this case, sample response B, Adichie believes that single narratives can create limited and inaccurate views of others. Now, a clear perspective is introduced, and that is single narratives are limiting and inaccurate. That is a perspective. As compared to the first, the example, whereby a perspective or an idea was not brought out clearly. Two, evidence from the text now. Now, the evidence, as usual, needs to provide evidence of said idea or perspective, where in the text does she reveal that idea or perspective. She shares her personal experience of these when she recounts how her roommate assumed that she did not know how to use the stove. A good citation from the text that exactly enhances the argument that she believes single narratives can create limited and inaccurate views of others. Now, this is clear evidence of her roommate's limited and inaccurate view of her. It also provides opportunity to explore the use of structure. Which part is this? Because that is an anecdote. So therefore, it opens up an opportunity to explore the use of structure. And then down there, the analysis. Of course, the analysis needs to explain how language And of course, structure expresses that idea or a perspective. And the single sentence paragraph draws emphasis on the limited view. Now, upward there, good students, we say that the exploration or the opportunity to explore the use of structure has been presented by the use of a single sentence paragraph. So therefore, a single sentence paragraph is a way in which that the writer has structured this particular idea or this sentence in such a way that it can draw emphasis on the limited view of her roommate, how her roommate held a perception, or the emphasis on the limited view of her roommate held over DJ, and exemplifies the patronizing treatment that she received based on purely on the fact that she is an African. Now, again, back there, good students, when we talk about structure, we see that where this particular citation of the evidence has been taken from was a single sentence paragraph, a one-line paragraph, in other words, which would be a way of structuring that one to emphasize or to add more weight, and also to make it sound outstanding or serious rather. And apart from it being made conspicuous or outstanding, it equally exemplifies the patronizing treatment that she received from the American roommate based purely on the fact that she is an African. Now, and this particular idea here is a clear analysis of how the single sentence structure mirrors the limited view her roommate has. And to our next point, how to effectively cross-reference. What is to cross-reference, first of all? A cross-reference is a reference to another text or part of the text, typically given in order to elaborate on a point. In other words, you might be having maybe more than two or three close references. That means after citing one evidence and explain it as one idea, you can also cross-reference that one with another idea. And typically, because you want to enhance the main argument or to give more elaboration, or you elaborate on a point, but it might sometimes look like as if you're repeating the ideas, but it would be good if you're going to cite one, two, three, four evidences from the text that you cross-reference with the main to emphasize or to enhance the main argument that you had already laid. Cross-references can help strengthen your point, but as I already said, it can also make your work sound repetitive if not done effectively. So therefore, effectively, you need to cross-reference your work. And going to take you through how to cross-reference using the same example that is from Jima Madango's Adichie's work. We are also going to cross-reference the main argument that is enhanced from the first point. When cross-referencing, you need to effectively manage and negate through your ideas. Of course, this time around we're going to have the point, evidence, analysis, cross-reference, and then explain that is P's. Now, as usual, point needs to directly answer the question of what is one of Adichie's ideas or perspectives. Two, the evidence needs to provide evidence of said idea or perspective. Where in the text does she reveal that idea or perspective? Three, analysis needs to explain how language and structure helps express that idea or a perspective. And of course, the cross-reference needs to provide a second piece of evidence, as I had already said, and mark my words, we're going to echo this. Cross-reference needs to provide a second piece apart after mentioning the first, therefore there's going to be a second one of the said idea or perspective. Where else in the text does she reveal that idea or perspective? And finally, explain. You also need to be able to explain how language and structure further demonstrates this idea or perspective. Can you also develop your own idea rather than repeating what has been said previously? Now here it calls for independent in thinking, so you're going to be creative and also critically think throughout the perspectives and ideas that have been presented previously, so you don't have to copy paste or keep on repeating what has already been said. So you need to be smart, you need to be creative, you need to be able to evaluate different points or different instances that are able to add or ideas or pieces of information that try to complement one another. Let's cross-reference. Points needs to directly, of course, answer the questions. What is one of Adichie's ideas or perspectives? In this case, we have Adichie believes that single narratives can create limited and inaccurate views of others. That is, of course, the first point. Evidence needs to provide evidence of said idea or perspective. So, what is the evidence of the already said ideas or perspective up there? She shares her personal experience of these when she recounts how her roommate assumed that she did not know how to use the stove. And the analysis to this is that the single sentence paragraph draws emphasis on the limited view of her roommate held over dishes and exemplifies the patronizing treatment that she received based purely on the fact that she is an African. Now, cross-referencing. Now, cross-referencing needs to provide a second piece of evidence of the said idea or perspective. Where else in the text does she reveal that idea or perspective? This is how you cross-reference. Furthermore, Adichie uses parallel sentence structure to mirror the way her roommate had a single story of Africa, a single story of catastrophe. And then an explanation to the cross-referenced point up there, how language and structure further demonstrates this idea or perspective. Or are you able to develop your own ideas rather than repeating what has already been said? The repetition of the single story emphasizes the narrow view of roommate, and the parallel position of Africa and catastrophe reveals how Africa, in the eyes of others like her roommate, is considered a hopeless place that is synonymous with disaster. The simplistic views restricts one's ability to appreciate the diversity of the continent, resulting in a complete misrepresentation and misunderstanding of Africa. And that, good students, marks the end of this particular part here, and there are more episodes on the same and from various non-fiction texts. And I would wish that you pause within the video, because you might as well as want to maybe digest some ideas, or if possible, if you're taking your short notes, you will be required to pause in between the video so that you can get the ideas as I'm intending them to. So, or you might as well as go back again and review the same at your own good time. If in case you came across this one for the first time, you've not subscribed, why don't you just subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and also share it with your friends that you really care about. For now, have a good day.